I still remember the night everything changed. It was the night I realized that family can be the sharpest knife in your back, but also the strongest fire that pushes you to rise. My heart still burns when I think about it. I grew up in a house where family dinners were filled with laughter, where my father told us stories of hard work and honesty. He used to say, "Trust is the foundation of everything. Without trust, even family becomes strangers." At that time, I didn't understand how true those words were. When my father passed away, I was only 23. My older brother, David, was 28, and my uncle Robert, my father's younger brother, stepped in as the so-called guardian of the family business. We owned a small construction company that had been running for years. It wasn't huge, but it was stable, and my father dreamed of growing it into something big. After the funeral, Robert called us for a family meeting. We sat around the big oak table in my father's office. The air felt heavy, like even the walls knew something was about to break. Robert cleared his throat. "Your father left everything in both of your names," he said, looking at David and me. "But let's be practical. David is older, more experienced, and it makes sense that he takes the lead. You, on the other hand," he said, turning to me with a sharp look, "you're still too young to handle serious responsibility. Maybe you should just take your share quietly and let David and me run things." His words stabbed me. I had worked beside my father every day for the last 3 years. I knew every worker by name, every project by detail. Yet here he was, brushing me aside like I was nothing more than a child. I glanced at David, waiting for him to defend me, but he just nodded. "Uncle Robert is right," he said calmly. "You don't have the experience yet. It's better this way." My throat tightened. "Better for who?" I snapped. "For the two of you to control everything while I watch from the sidelines? That's not what Father wanted." Robert's face hardened. "Listen, son, don't be emotional. Business is not about feelings. If you try to fight this, you'll only ruin yourself." That night, I sat in my room with tears in my eyes. My own brother had sided against me. My own uncle treated me like a burden. For the first time in my life, I felt completely alone. But then I remembered my father's voice. Trust is the foundation. Without trust, even family becomes strangers. Those words rang in my ears. Maybe they had already become strangers. Maybe I needed to stop depending on them. The next morning, I made a decision. If they didn't want me in the family business, I would start my own. I had no money, no office, and no workers. All I had was determination. I started small, taking freelance projects, repairing roofs, painting walls, fixing broken fences. I worked day and night, sometimes sleeping in my car because I couldn't afford rent. People laughed at me. Some relatives even whispered, "He'll come crawling back to David and Robert, just watch." But I didn't crawl back. Instead, I kept moving forward. One project led to another. My honesty and hard work built a reputation. Clients began to trust me. Soon, I had enough money to hire a few workers. I treated them like family, the way my father had taught me. Years passed, and my little business grew. We won contracts that even Robert's company failed to get. While they focused on cutting corners and chasing quick profits, I focused on quality and building trust. Slowly, my company's name became known in the city. One day, I was invited to bid for a massive government project, a housing complex worth millions. It was the kind of opportunity that could change everything. But when I walked into the meeting room, I froze. Sitting across the table, representing another bidder, were David and Robert. Their eyes widened when they saw me. David forced a smile. "Well, look who's here. Our little brother, all grown up." Robert leaned back in his chair, smirking. "Careful, kid. This project is too big for you. Don't embarrass yourself." I didn't reply. Instead, I gave my presentation with every ounce of passion and professionalism I had. I showed them that I wasn't the same boy they had dismissed years ago. When the officials announced the result weeks later, my company had won the contract. The news spread like wildfire. Reporters came to interview me. "How did you manage to rise from nothing to leading one of the fastest-growing companies in the region?" one asked. I smiled and said, "By remembering that trust and hard work matter more than shortcuts, by never giving up even when those closest to me turned away." A few days later, David showed up at my office. His face looked tired, his eyes full of something I couldn't name. Maybe regret? "Can we talk?" he asked quietly. I invited him in. He sat across from me, fumbling with his hands. "I made a mistake," he admitted. "I let Uncle Robert convince me to push you out. I thought I was protecting the business, but I was only protecting my own pride. Now Robert has left me in debt and the company is collapsing. I don't know what to do." For a long moment, I just stared at him. This was the same brother who had betrayed me, who had watched me struggle without lifting a finger. Part of me wanted to say, "Now you know how it feels." But another part of me remembered our childhood, the times we played together in the yard, the times he defended me at school. I sighed. "I can't save your company, David, but I can help you rebuild yourself. If you're willing to work honestly, there will always be a place here for you." Tears filled his eyes. "Thank you," he whispered. That day, I realized something important. Success is not just about money or winning against those who betrayed you. True success is when you have the strength to forgive, when you rise so high that bitterness cannot reach you. My journey taught me that betrayal can break you or build you. It broke me once, but I chose to rebuild myself stronger, and in the end, I became proof that even the deepest wounds can turn into the strongest foundation. The moral of my story is simple. Never let betrayal stop you. Let it push you. Never let family conflict define you. Let your actions define you. Success is not revenge. It is the quiet power of proving to yourself that you were always enough.